Hi there, ladies. This is Claire Luffman, and I am all about helping women entrepreneurs, especially service-based women entrepreneurs, create family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business while only working part-time hours, whatever that may look like for you. So thanks so much for requesting this free gift, this free training video. We're going to dive on into my 5 favorite strategies for more clients, more money, and more freedom. I'm sure that's what you are all about, right? That's what you want in your business. You want to be making a big difference. You want to love your business, have fun with it, and easily find more clients, more money, and experience more freedom, right? Not run around all frazzled like a chicken with her head cut off, right? So let's go ahead and dive on in. First of all, what I'd love for you to be able to take away is that the results that you most likely want, right? I may not know you personally, but I'm assuming that you want to be able to easily grow your list, right? For you to be able to easily find more and more ideal clients who are interested in what you have to offer, who are giving you permission to stay in touch, right? So you're wanting to find a way that feels right where you can easily grow your list. And I'm sure that you also are wanting to easily make sales, right? You love your craft, whatever it is that is the core of your business. Maybe sometimes you're even saying to yourself, but I don't like sales and marketing. First of all, I would challenge you that you can learn to love sales and marketing. It especially comes from having that right offer, right? That offer that almost sells itself, where you're able to paint a picture of the results that you're able to help this individual get. And results that they're like, oh my gosh, yes, if you can show me how to get there, great, let's start working together. So for you to be able to make more and more sales, and for you to then be able to fit this business in, right, to create and build your business around your life. Not where your business is, where you're needing to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. No way. So what I want you to discover is that it's probably much easier to get this than you think. Right now it may seem overwhelming, and I can tell you that I'm not going to tell you work more, work harder. Nope, not at all. So again, it's probably much easier than you actually think. So just a little bit about me. Again, you may not have even known me before watching this video. So my philosophy, first of all, I believe firmly that building a business is not a one-size-fits-all approach. So I'm not going to stand here and tell you you all need to have a blog, you all should be on Google+, you should all be on Facebook, you should all be out there giving presentations. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It really is dependent on your personality, your strengths, your ideal client, the problems that you're solving, the results that you're getting for folks. And deep to my core is that I want to help you see deep to your core that it's possible for you. I firmly believe that your seed of desire to have this business that you love, where you're making a difference, you're providing financially for your family, that seed of desire has been planted deep in your heart for a reason, and that you can absolutely do it. Be persistent. That's the differentiating factor between those who achieve what they want to achieve and those who don't, is persistence. Those who succeed, you may think, oh, they were just an overnight success, or they were just, naturally more talented. No, they were just more persistent. So don't give up, right? Find the right mentor who can help you get those results as soon as possible. Another thing is that I am taking a stand for your transformation. And this is truly a paradigm shift for me and in the coaching field in general. And what that means is I am 100% committed to you just taking action, right? It's not about information. It's about taking action and you getting the results that you want as soon as possible. So that's what I'm all about. I only want to work with clients who I'm confident that I can help them get those results, and then I'm going to be all on board, right? 100% committed that I'm not going to be happy until they get those results. And I just want to let you know at the end of this webinar, I'm not selling anything. Again, this is a free gift, and I actually wanted to invite you to another opportunity where we can actually continue this conversation one-on-one. So it's an extremely valuable resource that I'm going to provide to you at the end of the webinar. All right, so when I talk about a family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable model that is much easier to get than you think, who is a specific model for? First of all, it's for service-based women entrepreneurs. So meaning you're not selling a product, but you're selling your service. You're selling your time, your expertise to help folks solve problems. So it may be that you're helping them, make more money. You're helping them in their business, somehow their business to be more successful. You're helping them with their health and wellness. You're helping them with relationships. You're helping them with their life, right? Creating a life that they love. So ultimately, you're helping your clients solve their pressing problems. So that's who this model is for. It's also for folks who already have the basics of their business up and running, right? They know they're in the right business and this is what they're meant to do. All their past life experiences, good or bad, has brought them to this point where they're so passionate, they're so jazzed up about helping folks solve these problems. And you've already been helping some clients and you've already been helping them get these results. And it's perfect for those women who feel like they're on the verge one way or the other, or maybe sometimes it's dependent on the day. I mean, you could feel like you're on the verge of success, being like, oh my gosh, I so see it. I feel like it's within my grasp. It's just not there yet. Like something is just missing. I just need to put together the pieces of the puzzle a little bit different, but you just feel like you're so close. And then maybe the next day feeling like, oh my gosh, can I do this, right? Sometimes even thinking, should I just throw in the towel? Is this ever going to happen? Am I going to truly be able to experience true financial peace as a result of this business, as a result of helping these folks solve these problems? So again, you're on the verge one way or the other, and again, sometimes depending on the day, you may go back and forth. So what we're going to cover today in this webinar is we're going to talk about how to leverage your business model so you can work less hours. That's what I'm all about. If you're wanting to work, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours, then another coach or trainer may resonate with you more. For me, it's important that I'm working my business just during the day while my son is at school. So how can we leverage that business model? How can you actually get more ideal clients by actually doing less marketing? Simple ways to grow your list. And then we're going to talk about how can you be 3 times more productive so you can have lots more time off to enjoy your life, to enjoy your family. And if you're struggling right now, which you most likely are to a bit, right, to a certain degree, please know you're not alone. I mean, there is a problem out there. There is an epidemic. I'm seeing way too many smart, passionate, dedicated businesswomen who are struggling. And it's not a lack of motivation. It's not because of a lack of effort. Again, there's just some pieces of the puzzle that are missing, or some pieces of the puzzle that aren't quite fitting, that need to, be moved around a bit. And the thing is, again, they feel like they've got parts of their business up and running, or the majority of it, right? They've got bits and pieces up and running, but again, still something's missing. They're just not seeing the results fast enough to give them that peace, to give them that true confidence. And sometimes they're even feeling like their business is taking over, right? They feel like they're putting in so much work and effort, more than they originally intended. They're like, gosh, I didn't do this to work 60 hours a week. I didn't do this for less time with my family. But that's what it feels like it's taking, just to find more clients or to figure out how to support their current clients. And many times they've got a looming fear, right? Fear of, gosh, maybe I've got to go back and get that job. It's sort of lingering out there, and they're thinking, gosh, but that's just going to complicate things more. Again, that's going to be less time with my family. Or maybe they're being woken up by what I call the 2 a.m. sweats. They wake up and be like, oh my gosh, are we going to have enough money to pay the bills? So these problems out there are real, and it's breaking my heart, absolutely. And there's a couple of things that I truly see is getting in the way. First of all, it's not about information. So many times I think we feel like, well, we just need to learn more. We just need the right information, right? That magic bullet. There's no shortage of information. You can get tons of free information, free webinars, free teleseminars, free articles on the web. Just Google anything and you can find information. It's not about information. Or you may buy information products, right? You buy a self-study course, $500, and you're thinking, well, that would be the magic bullet, but you're just, again, not seeing those results. Or maybe you've even invested more, $10,000 for a year-long coaching program that really, you truly thought you were going to get the results, but you didn't. You slipped through the cracks somehow. So again, it's not about information. It's about taking action. It's about putting one foot in front of the other in the right order to get you those results. And it's about the right information, right? No more and no less than you need to get the results that you want. 20% of us are going to be natural action takers anyway, right? 20% of us that were in that 10K program or that bought that info product were really focused on it and got things up and running. But 80% of us are not, right? Need a little bit additional mentoring to really get you those results. So I'm also seeing folks just that are getting so tripped up by the technical aspects, and yes, there are a lot of technical aspects with running a business this day and age, right? Getting a website up and running, or your opt-in, or your e-newsletter, or how you do a webinar, right? You're getting tripped up by that, or just paralyzed for different reasons. Fear of failure. What are they going to think if I don't make this work? Or fear of success for so many of us. It's a lot of times it's subconscious, but it's real. Being like, well, gosh, when I do get all these tons of clients, how may that impact my life? Maybe I won't be available when the school bus comes at the end of the day, right? Or perfectionism. We feel like things need to be perfect before we get it out there, so we're just not getting it out there. We're not taking that action. We're getting information overload. Information is a gift, but it's not cutting it because there's so much information, right? Conflicting information. Well, gosh, how do I grow my business? Because this person says I should grow it this way, and this person says I should grow it that way. Again, how can you cull down that information and cut to the chase and only get the information you need, no more, no less, to get you the results that you want? All right, let's dive on in. First, what I want to encourage you to do is to figure out for you, what is your mountaintop? So right now, you're not where you want to be. Think of yourself, you're at the base of this mountaintop. How are you going to know when you're at the top of that mountaintop? What does a family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business look like to you? And I'm going to encourage that you do this. Don't rush through this activity. When you're done listening to this webinar, please do this. What's your mountaintop? Picture yourself at the top of the mountaintop. You got there. You're so excited. Feel it deep in the core. Feel it deep in the core. And when you're thinking about your mountaintop, think about a couple of things. For you to feel like you have a highly profitable business, what does that look like? And think initially that you just want, you want financial peace. You just want more than enough to come on in. And know that your mountaintop can increase. I can let you know that my initial mountaintop, I've reached that profitability mark. I've reached the ideal schedule and working my favorite day. So now, my mountaintop, I've expanded it larger than I ever even thought possible. I could tell you that first initial mountaintop, I was thinking, wow, that looks high up there. Am I ever going to get there? But yes. And now again, my mountaintop is a new mountaintop. So what's that profitability amount for your business to be bringing in? Is it $3,000 a month, $6,000 a month, $5,000, $8,000? What is that amount? And just don't pull a number out of thin air. Again, for you to truly feel like I've got a profitable business, we've got financial peace. What does that look like? And think through your ideal schedule. Your ideal schedule, not just your business, but your life as well. For you to just love the flow of your week. What would that look like in a perfect world with no limitations? What would that look like? So when are you working? What days? What hours? So my initial ideal schedule was that I would work from 9 to 3:30. Again, while my son is in school, so not nights and weekends. So again, I grew into that ideal schedule. So that's what I'm working now. But I can tell you that my new mountaintop is that I'm going to work from 10 to 2. So that's what I'm growing into. And I love the activity of creating your ideal favorite day. A work day that is one that I know every day could be different, but if you could just create one day from beginning to end and what that day could look like, and a day that you would not get bored of having continually. So I could tell you that my favorite day, again, I'm living my favorite day, where I'd wake up before Dylan wakes up, an hour before Dylan wakes up, and doing my exercise and my Bible study time, and then he's getting up at around 7, and we're both getting ready, and then it's not rushed, and I drop them off at school, and then I start working from 9 to 3:30, and that the majority of my time I'm spent with my clients, on the phone with my clients, supporting them. And then 3:30 the bus comes and get them from the bus, and I love, 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 love kids, so I'm watching other kids after school, and then after they're picked up, Dylan and I doing his homework, casually, and cooking dinner for the family, and then later on that evening my husband and I just having some R&R time that we can connect. We're about 8 to 10, just relax. A lot of times it's connecting and watching our favorite TV shows. So, but my new ideal favorite day, again, where I'm not at yet, it's my new mountaintop, is that I'm going to sleep in a bit. So I'm not going to get up till about 7. I'm going to quickly do my exercise routine, my exercise video, and then Dylan and I are going to get ready for school, drop him off. Now, I'm not going to start work until 10. So I've got some time after I drop him off. And I envision, in the back of our house, we've got all these woods, and I envision a new addition, a 2-floor, double-decker, glassed-in room, 2 rooms, where again it's going to be so peaceful back there. You're looking over the woods, seeing all the deer, and that on the top floor, the second floor of it there'll be a door from our bedroom into this room, and on the second floor that it's just going to be my private relaxation room, where after I drop him off, I'm just going to go get some coffee and just sitting in that room and do my Bible study time, and then I'm going to do my yoga, my stretching, really get ready for the day. That every other week a yoga instructor is actually going to come, and so she's going to help me figure out my own personal yoga routine for those couple of weeks. And then if it's a Friday, every other week, a massage therapist is actually going to come to me in that room and give me a massage. So then I'm going to start my day again from 10 to 2. It'll be a very casual day. There's actually going to be a group of women that I'm working with, that I'm mentoring. So all of us, that small group, we're going to be connecting for about an hour and a half. And I'm really going to be mentoring them, helping them get to their mountaintop, helping them get those results, and then I'm going to stop working, right? And then Dylan's not coming until about 3:30, so I've got time. But in that time, I'm not needing to clean, because we're going to have our house professionally cleaned every week. So you get the idea, right? With no limitations. What could be your ideal favorite work day? No limitations. And then grow into that. The next thing is, once we know what our mountaintop is, we need to figure out a way to start making money, right? And figuring out a way to make money, as well as fitting that into most likely a part-time schedule. So many of us, so many of you, if you are especially a service-based entrepreneur, like maybe a coach of some sort, are missing what I call an offer that sells itself. An offer that is just that your ideal client is like chomping at the bit for. They're like, yes, my gosh, yeah, you can get me there. You can get me those results. Show me. Let's start working together. Because if I were to look at your website, I bet you a lot of things are in terms of, coaching. We'll talk on the phone every other week, or a coaching package of 3 months or 6 months or a year, or your process, right? That I could tell we are interested in our process, but our clients aren't. They're not as concerned that, well, first we're going to uncover your values, and they just want to get to that mountaintop, right? It's about knowing that for your clients. What is that mountaintop? And how can you get there in the quickest, fastest, most painless way? How can you get them those results quickly? So for my clients, for example, how can I help them figure out and create this offer that sells itself? And while I'm mentoring them, how can I show them how to easily sell people into that offering? And how can I show them how to market in a way that feels authentic, show them how to easily grow their list? And actually, I want their list to be growing to a certain number while I'm working with them. And then how can I actually show them, let's look at their schedule, let's create that success calendar for them so they're getting it all in. Not only business, but all their important life stuff. So how can I get them to the mountaintop? And how long would that take? Can I do that in 3 months? So what is that offer that sells itself? And then we got to figure out how to leverage our time, right? A lot of times we start with one-on-one coaching or one-on-one services. It's not a bad way to start. I mean, that's how I started working with folks one-on-one, and it gave me a really good idea of, who do I want to work with and what are their challenges and what are the results that I can get folks. But then very quickly I moved into leverage time, which can take lots of different formats. The shape of it can be different, whether you're working with groups or you're doing it in a workshop or retreat. But there's something so powerful about a group of folks who are going through the same journey and how they can actually, there's just something so powerful about it. They're able to learn from each other. They're able to get committed and motivated, right? They're able to create lasting friendships a lot of times with that. Plus, it's just such a great use of your time. So there's something so powerful about seeing how you can get them those results, get them to the top of the mountaintop, and which format is going to work best for you depending on what those results are to get them to the mountaintop. And let's get that up and running. Now let's say you're working with groups and you're helping them get the results. There's going to be a part in your business for you to make a decision. It may be that you want to continue and you actually want to build an empire, meaning that you just want to be on a big stage, you want to be well known in your industry, you want to be like one of the leaders, and you're going to mean an empire, meaning too that you've got a whole staff of folks, maybe you even have coaches that are under you, a part of your organization, and you've got lots of things to offer, right? You've got information products, and you've got live events, and you've got VIP, you've got a whole slew, a whole menu. You're building an empire. Or you may want to create a lifestyle business. I can tell you that creating an empire doesn't appeal to me at all. It doesn't. Yet there's folks out there that do it wonderfully, right? Like the Allie Browns of the world, or Suzanne Evans, or there's just tons and tons of them. Sandy Krakowski's and Fabian Fredrickson. Now for me, it's a lifestyle business. I'm so passionate about helping folks get the results, get to the top of the mountaintop, and I want to be able to do that again with like one virtual assistant and with working part-time hours and with being able to take our whole summertime off, right, live at the beach. So that's the model that I've created. And both models are great. It's just sort of a personal decision. So that's the key, is figuring out your offer that sells itself. How can you leverage it so that they're getting the best results in the quickest, fastest way, and that you're using your time wisely. So when you can get really clear, you go so much deeper than information, and you go again, you're not focusing on the process that you're going to take folks through. You're just getting clear and showing them the results in the quickest, fastest way, right? So you may not need 6-month coaching programs or year-long coaching programs that are these ongoing things. Again, if you can get them those results at the top of the mountaintop in 3 months versus a year, don't you think that's better? Absolutely. All right, the third thing to consider is that you can attract more ideal clients by doing less. Yes, it's absolutely true. There is an epidemic right now, the shiny object syndrome. You can see that in the diamond, right? The shiny object syndrome, where there's so many ways to market your business and there's so many cool ways that you can deliver your services that folks are just getting so overwhelmed. They're doing a little bit of everything, but nothing really well sometimes, or nothing consistent enough to really get that momentum, right? So you're told, okay, create a blog or create a Twitter presence, and you're getting these things up and running, but you're not actually fully utilizing that as a marketing strategy. So I'm going to encourage you to just pick a couple of marketing strategies, and put those sunglasses on, put your marketing blinders on, and just focus on those marketing strategies. Get really good at them, get really consistent. So if someone comes along and says, you know what, you should be really on Google+, you can say, you know what, not right now. Right now I'm utilizing these strategies to the fullest. Don't let yourself get sidetracked, because it's crippling your business. It's crippling it. So I love this visual. I wish it was a woman here, but think of yourself, you're pushing up a boulder, up this rock, right? Because to get a new marketing strategy up and running could be a lot of work. right? So let's say you start a blog. So you're creating a blog site, a website, WordPress, and getting all that up and running, and that's a lot of work. You're pushing that boulder up the hill. And you know what I see happen too often? Then again, we're on to the next thing. We let that rock roll back down. Because how many websites have you seen that have run dormant, right? They haven't posted in like 5 months. That's not a marketing strategy. You spent so much time and effort pushing that boulder up the hill, but you didn't get to experience the momentum on the other side. When the boulder goes over the mountain and then it rolls down, whee, you're like, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at all these new clients I'm getting. Look at all these new leads. So you're pushing a boulder and you let it slide down, and then you're pushing up a new boulder. Okay, well now let me get my Facebook page up. Let me get a Facebook business page up and running. Get all that up and running, and then you have it, you post like once a week. That's not a marketing strategy. So say no to the shiny object syndrome. I also love to remind my clients, think of this picture here, this visual, that if a strategy feels icky, don't do it. You don't need to grow your business the way that everyone else is growing it. Again, if you're just picking a couple of strategies, pick ones that you enjoy, that you appreciate. So if it feels icky, don't do it. Just because so-and-so says, go up and talk to all the strangers and go up and down the grocery aisle and talk to people. If it feels icky to you, don't do it. Don't do it. So pick just 3 core strategies, just a couple of core strategies. Get really good at them. Get good and consistent. That's going to give you that momentum. That's going to give you the stream of new ideal clients. Right? You're getting them up and running. You're getting good and consistent. You're pushing the boulder up the hill, but you're keeping at it. You're being consistent. And then what happens? The boulder goes down the other side of the mountain, the other side of the hill, and it's like, whee! You're getting that gift of momentum. So give yourself that gift of momentum. So picking a couple strategies that, first of all, fit your personality, that you believe will effectively connect with your ideal client, that you're able to reach your ideal client in a way where they'll be open to your message. And there are strategies that you can commit to doing consistently, that you can commit to posting on your Facebook business page, 2 to 5 times a day, or that you can commit to updating your blog once a week. And just pick those strategies and get them up and running. Learn as much about those strategies, not everything. You don't need to be soaking up information about Google Plus and Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and search engine optimization, how to give a webinar and how to write a blog post. And forget it. Put your marketing blinders on. Just pick a couple of strategies and do those consistently. And then you know what you do? You just rinse and repeat. You find those strategies that feel right, strategies that are working, and just rinse and repeat. So many of you, for example, if you are service-based entrepreneurs, right, you're helping folks solve a problem, something as simple as a monthly webinar, doing a monthly webinar, inviting people to it, getting really good at expanding who it is that's hearing about your webinar, right, through, for example, let's say really targeted Facebook ads using the Power Editor. That is incredibly powerful. So let's just say you did 1 webinar a month, right? Again, you're pushing the boulder up the first time, figuring out how to do your opt-in page and what am I going to talk about, and you just do it every month. You rinse and repeat. You can add, at least 100 people, new people to your list every month. That's thousands by the end of the year. So that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So you truly can attract more ideal clients by doing less. All right, the next strategy is creating what I call your success calendar. I love this visual. You've probably heard of when Stephen Covey talks about your big rocks in your calendar, right? And figuring out what are those big rocks, what are those important things in your life that unless we're planful and we carve out time, that's a lot of times we just don't get to it. So what are your big rocks? Because look at this jar or this glass. So it's full of big rocks, and then you could pour sand, right? Sand is all that filler, all the other stuff that when we're living in reactive mode, we're always going to find stuff to fill up our time. You can be able to fit lots of sand in here. But you know what? If you actually started with this empty jar and you weren't planful and you just went about being reactive, you'd fill that glass up with sand first. And then you know what? There's no room then for the big rocks. Then we say, you know what, I don't have time to exercise. Oh my gosh, when's the last time I went on a date night with my husband? You know, that's what we find out. So figure out what your big rocks are first. For me, these are my big rocks. These are my 8 big rocks that I think through. So my business, right, of course, working my business and spending the majority of my work time on watering my money tree, meaning my money-earning activities, my own professional development, me improving in my craft, me improving my work habits, me growing to the businesswoman that I want to become, family and relationships, right, time with my husband, dedicated time with my son, my extended family, friends, health and wellness. What's important to you there? Your exercise routines or cooking, you know, healthy meals, personal growth, just as important. Yes, I love being a wife and mom. I love it. But I'm a person too, right? And filling my own bucket. When I'm filling my own bucket, I'm then able to better serve my family, better to serve my clients. So what does that look like for you? What are your hobbies? You know, time for that. Your own personal, like massage. You know, I love those massages. Faith and inspiration. What does that look like for you? And what will be important to carve out time? Carving out time for, you know, your Bible study or worship time. Finances and my own family finances. That we're attending to that we have a clear idea of what's coming in and out of our family finances. Community and making a difference. What does that look like? Am I carving out time to volunteer in Dylan's school? So what are your big rocks? And when you can actually create an ideal week, an ideal month, and that you're carving out time for these big rocks, and a lot of the things you can actually create just many little success habits, right? That you just, it's on auto drive now. If I found that if I was leaving exercise to the evening, it just wasn't enjoyable for me. It was something nagging at me. Versus if I could just do it first thing in the morning, it's an auto drive, I don't even think about it, and I feel great to get it done. Like creating those little success routines for you is so important. And it's not all about business. The life stuff is almost more important sometimes because it's going to overlap into our business. But then figuring out your week, right? So again, right now I'm working 9 to 3:30, going to be working 10 to 2, giving themes to my days, right? So I'm grouping like activities together and creating that ideal week. I know not every week's ideal, I understand that. But in a perfect world, what would that ideal week look like? And how can I grow into that ideal week? So for example, I don't even think about what I'm doing on Mondays. I know what I'm doing on Mondays, right? Monday morning I'm going to have my planning meeting. I'm planning out my business. I'm going to be creating my social media posts. I'm going to have in the afternoon, it's learning time. It's my own professional development time. I know Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm talking with my clients, right? I'm going to be in the office. I'm going to be on the phone working with my clients. I know Fridays are the day that I'm going to schedule my own personal appointments. So if I'm getting my haircut or massage or the doctor, I'm going to aim for Friday. The more routines you can create and give some structure to your calendar, the more freedom it gives you. And then lastly, figuring out how to create an organized environment. An organized environment equals an organized mind. And this isn't for necessarily neat people. I can tell you that I'm not naturally neat. Ask my husband, ask my parents. I'm not naturally neat. At the end of the day, my office is a mess, or my desk is a mess. But I know, you know what, let me just gather all these papers, let me put it into my physical inbox, and I know that tomorrow I'll go through my physical inbox and actually make decisions real quickly. It's just a quick process. Go through each thing and say, do I need to do anything with this? Or am I going to throw it out or recycle it, or am I going to just file it away, and where am I going to file it? So you just have a couple of systems in place, and it makes it really easy to have this organized environment so you're not feeling so scattered and so, you know, flustered all the time. So it's a matter of figuring out a process to manage your email. I'm not living in my email. I can't say I'm going to be the most responsive. I'm not living on my email. Managing my email is not a money earning activity for the most part for me. I am, however, going to, you know, scan my email and just make sure no bombs are blowing up, but I'm just going to process it at least once a week. So Monday morning during my review meeting, I'm actually going to get my email down to 0. It gives you such a sense of peace. Oh my gosh. So not that I necessarily did everything in those emails, but I made decisions. Do I need to do anything with this or not? Can I delete it? Or no, I don't need to do anything with it now, but I want to be reminded of it in a month. So how do I set up that tickler? Or yes, I do need to do something. I need to create a presentation for this networking event. I need to print out handouts. Great. Those are next actions. Those are actions. How do I get that on, like where do I store that information, those next actions? It's a very, very simple process, but the amount of peace it can give you and the amount that increases your productivity, oh my gosh. Email alone, it's like folks have these overflowing email inboxes and they're just leaving your email inbox should be temporary, right? It's just being stored there temporarily until you decide what to do with it. It's not supposed to be a permanent storage where you just keep all of your emails there and then you mark things unread or flag them because you're going to come back to them. Oh my gosh, the amount of time it's taking you and the amount of sanity it's robbing you more than you even know. And then papers, right? So a simple way that all the papers we're collecting throughout the week and receipts and this, and we just got a central place for it. And that then again, we process it, we get that physical inbox down to zero. And then your environment, right? That you can end the day and start the day with a clean desk. So again, not needing to be this neat person, and you may be thinking, Claire, that does not look like my office, right? I've got the dining room table. Wherever it is that you're at, it doesn't need to be a physical, lovely space like that picture, but that you are creating an organized environment for an organized mind. It's huge. All right, so for more clients, more money, and more freedom, first of all, get super clear on your mountaintop. What does your mountaintop look like? What does a family-focused, profitable, streamlined business look like for you? What does it feel like for you? And don't be afraid when you're like, oh, that mountaintop looks high. How am I going to get there? Like I said, my first mountaintop looked like that. But I'm there. I'm here. And now my mountaintop looks very different, right? Now my mountaintop, gosh, it's bigger. My vision has expanded more than I ever even thought possible. Then secondly, we want to leverage your offerings, right? You want to help folks know what is their mountaintop that you can get them to. And it's a paradigm shift, right? Because again, right now you may be providing them information where it's like an ongoing service that you're providing them, ongoing coaching. No, figure out what that mountaintop is and figure out how you can get them those results in the quickest, easiest path, and how then you can leverage your time, how you can get these folks up to the mountaintop. You know, one thing I want to share too is that this is a great question to ask yourself. I hope it doesn't sound too confusing, but if you are only going to get paid by your clients, let's say you're not going to get paid in advance, you're only going to get paid after the fact, if and when you get them to the mountaintop. Woo! Scary, huh? If and when you get them to the mountaintop. If that's the case, you're only going to get paid when they get results. A couple of things. What results can you almost guarantee? Now again, we hate to use the word guarantee, right? But if you're only working with a certain group of people that you're confident you can get to the mountaintop, and if they do what you ask them to do every step of the way, so who would be that group of people that you're confident you can get to the top of the mountaintop? And again, what is that mountaintop for them? What results can you get them? Huge paradigm shift, but when you can focus on that, wow, does it change your business? Absolutely. All right, again, you're going to be able to attract more ideal clients by actually doing less, right? Giving yourself permission to put on those marketing blinders and creating your success calendar, figuring out the big rocks in your life, personal and business. How is an ideal week going to look like? What are you going to do when? And then creating an organized environment, putting a couple of systems in place to give you that organized mind, where you're managing your email, you're managing the paper, and your office space is clean and organized. So hopefully you could see the possibilities. Can you see how it's truly possible with some tweaks, right, reshifting pieces of the puzzle, that you can truly have this family-focused, streamlined, highly profitable business? We're able to find more and more ideal clients, making more money, right? Having more freedom. See the possibilities. And if you're having a hard time seeing that, you're like, gosh, I just don't know what that sell itself offer could look like for me, or I'm just not seeing how I can fit this all in within 15 hours a week, 20 hours a week. I'd love to help you see the possibilities. I know this training video is obviously just a one-way communication, but I'm actually going to extend the invitation to you being new to the community, I would love to help you see the possibilities. When you can actually see the top of that mountaintop and what that business model could look like for you, that's huge. That's huge. That's half the battle. So I'm going to extend the invitation for us to actually finish this conversation. Go to talkwithclaire.com. Every month I reserve some spots in my calendar to speak specifically with you, to speak with women in the community, so I can help you expand your vision of what's possible for you. So you can actually start seeing, well, what could that look like for you? That offer, that price point, how to leverage it, leverage your time, how to get to your mountaintop. So I'd love to do that. And you're at a point, I mean, the real question is, it's not whether you and I talk or whether you and I ever get the opportunity to work together. It's a commitment that you're making yourself. You're at a crossroads right now, right? You're most likely not exactly where you want to be in your business. So you can just continue on the path and do whatever it is that you've been doing, and that's an option. Or you could do something different. Say, you know what, let me figure out what that mountaintop is and how can I get there? What are those steps to get me there? What's that? What do I need to know? What do I need to do? You know, no more, no less, to get me to the top of the mountaintop. So I just hope that you seek those resources, that mentoring, to get you there. Make that commitment to yourself, make that commitment to your family, because it's possible. You can get there. It's possible. So again, I'd love for us to be able to finish this conversation. Now, because of my limited time, I can't speak with everyone. I'm sorry, I can't. I would love to, but I can't speak with everyone. But if you're serious, if you're committed, if you want to have this conversation and just talk about the possibilities for you, then go to talkwithclaire.com. Go ahead and submit an application for a conversation. My virtual assistant will be in touch with you. Try to get back in touch within 24 or 48 hours, not over the weekend, but within 24 or 48 hours, and to see if we're able to set up a conversation. Okay? All right, ladies. I am believing in you. I hope you have the opportunity to connect. And in the meantime, I am cheering you on. Bye.